and welcome
Hello.
to Delight and Fright, episode 91. Today we are discussing the waves of madness with not only the author, director, actor, producer, what else, Jason? Jason Trost, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here. Yeah, everything. Also the publicist, as you'll know right now.
Nice. And
Oh,
post-production too.
Post-production entirely. Instead of giving myself like a million different names in the credits now, I just kind of be like post-production by, so I don't have to do like my name like 20 different times.
yeah, that makes total sense.
And he is coming to us from the land down under. How are things in Australia, sir?
Yeah, things are doing good. It's, noon down here, down in Sydney, and a nice, beautiful winter day because everything's backwards down here, which is always fun.
Winter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Winter in Sydney, like nothing like a winter in America, but
Is it still hot though?
no. But it's not hot. It's like, I guess in our language, it gets down to about like 40 here in Sydney sometimes. That's like a really cold day, but that's about it.
Does it like get into your bones? Is it damp or dry?
Nah, I mean, it's a pretty dry like winter, luckily,
good.
but
Okay.
like the summers have been getting a bit too humid for my taste. I don't know where you fall and whether you believe in climate change or not, but did not used to be the case when I lived here, and it's getting a bit more like Florida in the summer here, and I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Ooh,
maybe not to that degree, but just
no.
It's not great.
Yeah, well, we Florida, so we're very familiar with the swampiness.
Oh yeah,
I refer to it as swamp ass.
Yep.
You have that thick, just ickiness.
Just heat just slaps you in the face. It's just like
you're never quite dry.
no.
That kind of. Yeah.
Oh.
No. It's not in a fun way.
Not
in a fun
No.
way either.
Not in a fun way.
So you have also starred, sir, in Hatchet 3 as Hamilton and Studio 666, and then one of my personal favorites, Rushmore, as Party Kid.
Oh yeah, Party Kid. Who could forget that kid in the background, out of focus?
Right? What was it like to work with Wes Anderson? I'm just such a fan.
I'm not sure if I was working with him. I was just on set because my dad was taking care of me and my siblings, and we were just hanging out in the effects trucks. My dad does special effects.
Nice.
And, I would just be making my little G.I. Joe movies on the side and everything, and they just needed more kids for the scene. I guess it's like I was a kid, and
like, go play over there. Sure.
Yeah, that was pretty much the extent of it. Yeah, yes. I didn't really know how, it's just people. I had no idea what we were on at that point because you were just a kid. I had no idea that movie was going to become such like a cultural phenomenon, such a great movie. You're just like, oh, another one of these, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Another movie with Dad.
Aw, I did enjoy Studio 666, so I'm kind of shocked. I need to rewatch it to try to look for you because it's been a couple years since I've seen it, at least 3 years.
Well, just look for the one guy with the eye patch mixing the album with John Carpenter, and that's the guy.
Nice.
That's
me. Yes. He wasn't in. I did catch
John Carpenter, right?
Yeah. Well, every scene that John Carpenter is in, I'm in. So that's an easy one. Just nice chapter skip.
just look for John Carpenter, and you'll be there.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Nice. Love that.
So I had a real treat watching The Waves of Madness. It was so much fun. I'm not going to give away any spoilers because poor Luna didn't have a chance to watch it yet because of work. Work sucks. We hate work.
I mean, it's so long. I don't know how you're going to find the time.
I know, a whole hour and 8 minutes. But a lot happens, guys. So let's do what we always do, our delight and fright totals for The Waves of Madness 2024.
Ooh,
first, we have 1 pack of marbles, 1 piano, 4 dudes with machine guns that may or may not be Russian, 1 death by throat slit, 1 monster kill with grenade and knife, 7 dead cult members, 1 backpack nuke. We have gratuitous fossils, gratuitous corpses, tiki mugs, gratuitous elder god photobombing, gratuitous creepy as fuck voices, and gratuitous psychotherapy. Ooh.
Ooh.
The psychotherapy is gonna sneak up on you.
That checks out. Yeah.
Yes.
And
And,
Academy Award nominations to Jason Troust for denying the hot ladies any information, no matter how hard they tried to pump him for said information.
He's a man on a mission.
A man on a quest.
He's
Love
got one
that.
eye. He's got one eye, and he just uses it to look forward. That's all he's got.
He's got his eye on the prize. That's it. That's it. On the
Eye on
mission.
the left-hand direction of the screen, since it's side-scrolling. That's the only thing.
So, Luna, want to show us the lovely preview, and then we'll get into it.
Yep, sure.
We have a comment. That's a lot of gratuitous being said. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And gratuitous fog.
Oh.
Yes.
Gratuitous fog. Love it. All right. Without further ado, here is the Wave of Madness trailer. Let me make sure sound is on. Everything's good. All right.
Agent LaGrasse, do you copy?
I copy.
We intercepted a distress call.
There's an SOS from the Elder of the Sea.
They said there is something on the ship.
Ship appears to be deserted.
This is the rescue party? Is it just you?
There's an SOS from the Elder of the Sea. If you get this message, don't send help. It's just me. There's an SOS from the Elder of the Sea. Don't send help.
Going to be a long night.
Don't send help. There's an SOS from the Elder of the Sea. You won't accept the truth. Send help. Send help. Send help. Send help. Send help. Send help.
You're still there on that ship, aren't you? With those things.
Up or down?
Since when do monsters go up?
Don't send.
Ooh.
Yay.
Not coming soon. It's out now, guys.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
out
rent
now.
it. You can rent it on, was it YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, Amazon
YouTube,
Prime.
Amazon, Apple, Google, all the things. There's even
All
a
the
Blu-ray with a fun behind-the-scenes documentary that I've heard is better than the actual movie. So
Oh.
you're looking for that.
Yes. We love our documentaries. us
Oh, good.
nerds.
Then I would suggest you seek it out while it exists.
I know. I just rented it. Now I'm like, I want to rewatch it. Just seeing the preview, I'm catching on to different things that I didn't notice through the movie that's saying things about the characters. I don't want to give anything away.
Absolutely. There's a lot going on in the movie, and I think because everything's in a wide shot, and it's really interesting for me to notice this through like reviews and people's reactions. They're like, I wish this would have been explained or that or the other thing. I'm like, well, it's technically there, but everything's in a wide shot. So it depends on where you decide to focus. Like with a video game, it's all there. And since we don't have the tropes like most movies, like there's no close-ups in the movie, there's no cut to the insert of this thing you're supposed to look at. So it's like, do you catch it or not? I thought that'd be fun for the replay value. And it's also like with acting, I know people don't know what to do with the acting of it because it's all like a play, because it's all in a wide shot. And usually what tells you if acting is good or not in a movie is like, oh, it cuts to the close-up and you get the tear shot. I'm like, oh, that's a damn good performance. But when it's all just like wide and happening in front of you in real time, I feel like people don't really know what to do with it on first glance. So I think it takes you a while to kind of get into this new weird vibe.
Yeah. What I love the most about just watching the trailer is the fact that it felt very Silent Hill kind of, fog kind of, lucid dream vibes. How did you get that concept from, or where did you think that?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, obviously like Silent Hill, the whole series, but mainly Silent Hill 2 was a huge inspiration for this movie, as well as the first Resident Evil video game. And I was kind of like, well, I'll slap those together and my love for 1930s monster movies. And then Cthulhu's cool. I'm reading it, because it was the pandemic when I came up with this idea. And I was reading like one of those H.P. Lovecraft compilations of all like, the hottest Cthulhu books. And like I came across Call of Cthulhu and I was like, oh, this is a really cool idea. And I remember punching in because they like give you coordinates in it of like where R'lyeh is, where Cthulhu is housed. And I'm like, where is that? Is that a real location? And I punched it in, and it's actually called Point Nemo, like the point of No, return basically in the or inaccessibility, where it's the furthest point from any landmass on Earth, where they actually also call it it has so many names, the spaceship cemetery, where they send down decommissioned like satellites and space stations, like space trash. They dump it there because it's so far in the middle of nowhere, where like the furthest point from any landmass and just like life in general. And I was like, that is where you would put Cthulhu. And I was like, well, if I was going to do a side-scrolling movie, where would I? It has to be one location because it all has to happen in real time. And I was like, well, if it's all in one location, that's very classic Resident Evil game where it's all in like one location. Okay, how do we get one location out in the middle of nowhere? And I was like, oh, great, cruise ship, off course. And then, popped in Deep Rising, and then here we are.
Ooh, I did pick up on that.
Great.
Yeah, you'll love it, Luna. It's lots of cruise ship action. She got me to go on my first cruise, and now I'm addicted.
I love a good cruise ship, but I mean, I love going on a cruise, but also you can't help like the dread when you're on a cruise where it's like, man, if this goes just kind of wrong, goes really wrong. Like if you watch the Poop Cruise documentary on Netflix,
yeah,
the things like different type of horror, but you can tell like things can turn bad real fast on a cruise ship because you're out in the middle of nowhere, and just the power going off, like, my God, 4,000 people can't use the bathroom. Like that was wild. But sorry, off topic, kind of. But cruise ships can be terrifying.
They can. It's all a matter of perspective.
Unless you get the drink pass, then nothing scares you.
Just whatever. Just immune to everything.
Correct.
Nice. So how did you do the it was a lot of the disorienting shaky imagery, but you could still see, and it just kind of gave you that feeling of dread, and I just thought that was really cool. How did you do the special effects for that while it's shaky, but you can still see what's going on? Kind of like you're trying to cut into cable as a kid, watch those porno stations, and you're like, wait.
Well, I mean, the simple answer, I guess, is just like layers and layers of different effects you're putting on in post and things. But because I always liked I think it was Silent Hill Shattered Memories, where it's just like everything's playing like this VHS tape of your memories, and it's like going in and out like that. And I, like you're saying, I like that kind of like, oh, you can just barely kind of see it, and it's like ripping in and out of this dimension. Like an easy way to do that with effects is like with VHS, like there's so many plugins now and things with that. So just like a mad scientist concoction of doing like layer upon layer and like turning the opacity up and down until it feels right. And just it's just, I don't know, my style when I'm doing these VFX is like, do it until it doesn't bug me and it looks cool. All right, great. Got it. Moving on. Because when you're doing like every VFX shot in a movie by yourself, there's not time to be like, does it look photoreal enough for this or the other thing? It's like, does it tell the story? Does it not annoy me? Great, moving on. And that was just one of those things where I was like, God, how am I going to do this? I was like, throw some VHS effects on it. And then that evolved into the whole vibe of the movie. It's funny how those things happen.
It's definitely a brilliant idea because it allows the viewer to, I mean, sometimes, most of the time, the things in our head are far more terrifying than what we can see on the screen. So you're giving us part of the image, and the rest is for us to fill in. And the weird minds like myself, it's like, we're going to come up with something truly horrifying that can creep us out more than you showing every little thing.
Yeah, and I like the idea that, because this whole thing's about madness, and the Lovecraftian or Cthulhu thing is about, the madness getting inside your head and driving you insane. And I was playing with the idea. I was like, well, this movie, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler alert, but it's playing with different time frames. And I was looking like, well, if you're dealing with the time of someone's, perception of just reality, maybe it's like a VHS tape where it's fast forwarding, it's rewinding, like, just like the chronology of your mind. So just playing with all that stuff and found something that stuck, and the madness, because it was interesting finding a way in a movie where it's all in real time. It never cuts away to like, meanwhile in the bad guy's lair or anything like that. It's all focused on the main characters. So it's like, how do we visually represent the villain of the film without being able to really cut away? So that was kind of my way of figuring out a way to like keep reminding you that there is the villain there, and it's seeping into, LaGrasse's mind.
And you were able to still add some backstory.
Exactly. That old cheat.
Deep Rising, hooray for evil sea cucumbers. Oh
yeah, if you like evil sea cucumbers, this movie's got them for you. And more.
Great. Lucid dream movies are cool. We have another comment. Jason seems like a solid lead there. Ooh.
Ooh.
Can you talk about the creative process of being a lead in this role?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's super easy and it's great because when you're writing, directing, and doing everything else, it's very easy to tell myself what to do, and I don't complain. I don't say no. I'm just like, yeah, okay, got it. You know, I jump in there and do it. No, but it's just it saves time more than anything because I know exactly what I want, so I just go in there and I do it. And I have a very firm belief that when you're making these low budget movies like this, they can be a lot of work. And if anyone's going to get abused, it's going to be me because I love it and I'm there. And like I don't want to like take advantage or hurt anyone else, so I'll generally take the brunt of the pain. Like if you watch the behind the scenes thing, you'll see like it's just me in a green suit, like picking people up and shaking them around and doing all that stuff. Like I'm always there's a lot of me in there. I'm putting myself at risk, but I enjoy it.
Nice. Do you ever get like extra critical of yourself? Like looking at your work and you're like, ugh.
You know, I used to, but I've kind of just gotten over that over time. I've like learned to take it easy on myself. It's like you're doing everything. Like, is it perfect? Absolutely not. What is perfect? That's a whole other conversation. But I just I had a good time. Everyone that was working on it had a good time. We're just trying to give people a good time. If you don't like the movie, that's totally fine. My main mission statement is like, I have no idea if you're going to like something I do or not. My main promise is I'm just going to give you something you haven't seen before. And then we go from there. Because how am I supposed to know what you like and what you don't like? You know, we're all different people. I just show you what I like.
And we're tired of the regurgitation of old ideas. That's what Delight and Fright is geared towards. We're trying to find independent films with new ideas, so we don't get I Know What You Did Last Summer 13.
But I thought like 90% of people thinking a movie is okay on Rotten Tomatoes means it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, people are super critical.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it was a rite of passage if you have trolls. You know what I mean? You're like, yes,
yeah.
I have earned trolls.
You'd be amazed how many people come to me like, why didn't you try to get this made for a studio? I think someone's going to want to make this. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Have you ever pitched anything to any studio or anything? Like, this is their worst nightmare. Something that's unproven that hasn't been done before. There's no universe. Like the first note would be like, does it have to be side scrolling? Actually, before that, does it have to be black and white? And then it's just going to keep going from there. And then I kind of like statistically, I was like, what's the checklist of things I could do that a studio would, it's just their worst nightmare. And that's everything about this movie.
Yeah, a similar thing happened in during John Wick where they just couldn't get the money. And if it weren't for Eva Longoria giving them the, what it was like 10 million or whatever she let him borrow, if she didn't do that, then we wouldn't have John Wick, you know? And it defied all odds. It killed the dog. You're never supposed to kill the dog.
No.
It like went against everything, you know? And I think that's what filmmaking is all about, is about telling these stories, even though producers might say, yeah, but then being able to justify those actions. And I think just having somebody, a big name, just back you, sometimes that's good. Maybe John Carpenter can back you someday, you know?
Oh, he's so done with movies. He's like, what the landscape of the film business when he was at his prime as opposed to when we're making movies now is so different. Like, because I got to hang out and talk with him on CS 666. I won't speak too much for him, but he is not a fan of where things have gone. Let's put it that way. And I agree with him.
I can tell based on meeting him. He was more interested in March Madness basketball than anything else.
He just wants to watch his basketball and play his video games. And I'm like, you know what, man? I feel you.
Definitely.
Right? He's earned it.
You've earned it. Yeah.
You've earned it, bud. Sit down, have a nice drink and relax. Speaking of relaxing, since you're a filmmaker, that's hardly a thing that filmmakers get a chance to do. What are you working on nowadays?
Oh, I am working on and finishing up even my next project, which was meant to just be like this little side experiment that I was going to do whilst I was doing all the press for Waves of Madness, but then it's turned into a full-flung oddity. And it's probably one of like my most experimental things yet, which is called Afar, and it's an interactive horror movie. So it's kind of like an old 90s FMV, like PlayStation 1 era video game, but it's like it's kind of a choose your own adventure horror thing, and it's meant to be like each run will take you about 30 minutes. And there's 5 different endings, and like most scenes you come to will have 3 different choices you can choose from that all help flesh out and build the world and the characters and what's going on. And it's hard to explain because it's just totally bizarre and nuts, but it'll be a DVD Blu-ray, and you can just pop it in and you play it and interact with it there. So it doesn't matter what video game system, as long as you have a Blu-ray player or a DVD player, you can try it out. And I'm trying to get it up on YouTube as well and interact with it on there. It's just a huge experiment because I haven't really seen it done in this capacity before. So I'm like, I might as well do it while I'm kind of spinning my wheels on trying to figure out how to get Waves released.
Yeah, I think that's so beautiful because oftentimes I'm like, man, if I was in that movie, I would have done this way, or I would have done that this way. And it's just some movies have just pissed me off so bad because I'm like, why did you see the repercussions?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun to be like, there's like, should you run or should you fight? Like that sort of thing. And that's and you get to choose and see what would happen in each scenario. And then whether you agree with the outcomes of those scenarios is a whole new argument.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then it's like, oh damn, what if I would have chosen that other thing? And it gets you thinking, and I think that's good.
There's 2 things for me with that. It's like, I just want things to have replay value because I feel like in today's just like bombardment of like content and a heap of things, like there's no replay value in a lot of movies anymore, especially like newer. You're just like, I remember those days I used to watch things over and over again. So it's like, I'd like something that kind of spurs like replay value. So I'm like, it's not too much of a time sink. So every time you try, it's like 30 minutes, like, I'll try it again for 30 minutes, see what happens. But also a lot of people, and I can be guilty of this too, because so many things are fighting for your attention, where you can't really have a cell phone in your hand or an iPad or a tablet or whatever while you're watching it, because you have to have the DVD remote because you're responsible for selecting the thing. Nice. So and that's why I've found with video games, I'm kind of getting more into the stories on things than movies, because I have to have that controller in my hand and I can't be distracted by something else. And I kind of like, what if we bring that into movies? I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's brilliant. I mean, I love the game series, the Until Dawn, but I get too nervous, and I'll be like, oh my god. But at least with a DVD, I think, okay, I'll be able to, choose a little more and not be so panicked. Like you got to hit this button so many times. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, no. I took away all that nonsense. This is the stress-free version. There's no like, oh my god, it's not timed. Like, oh, you have to make this choice in 5 seconds. I want enough time to be able, because I assume you're going to be doing this with your friends, so then you can talk and be like, what are we going to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds so good. Jason, how is it like programming such a thing? Because let's just say at the beginning you have some decisions you have to make, and then towards the middle you have decisions. Like, how do you branch it out and make like episode? Like, what?
It starts as a complicated Excel spreadsheet that is basically your outline. And then you go through, and then it keeps evolving as you do it. And I had to come up with this huge algorithm. Like, luckily, I'd already written a choose your own adventure book before, so I kind of knew what I was getting into. But this was it was a whole different thing. What was really hard with this one was continuity-wise, just remembering, like, I am shooting kind of the same version of the scene, but in this train, I don't actually have that prop because that's a choice from the other one. But then when you're writing it, also being like, then there's juncture points for all the things, because there's like branch points where even if you interweave, it kind of comes back to sometimes. And then remembering in those times, you have to make it fluid to where, like, I can't have like a prop or something keep existing into that branch timeline, because then that wouldn't make sense with one of the other branches. And it's a lot. I mean, it was really fun because I like complicated problems and like math equations like that. But like, there's a lot to think about. And even still, like in the editing process, where there's like 1 or 2 times I'm like, wait a second, you can't do that. And I was able to, fix things up. But it's a whole thing.
Do you have anyone helping you, or you're just a one-man team?
No, this one I am just one man, because this was something I'm just doing because my wife has her, like, she's a VFX producer and she's working on some video games right now, which is great. But, I'm just home alone while I'm, releasing Waves. And it's just been like 6 months of getting this movie out there. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do something during that, because I don't have the focus to jump into a full movie yet while I'm doing that. But I'm like, I'm going to do this little side project that's just gotten out of control. So yeah, it's just been me, like, doing the whole thing, like hiking into the mountains. Like, it takes place in like this jungle valley. And I was like, I'll just go there and shoot that. And I was like, oh my God. It's been a whole thing, but it's going to be really cool. But it's been a lot. and then I'm
It's
trying to finish that up in the next month or so then I can start work on the sequel for Waves of Madness, hopefully at end of August. Fingers crossed.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When
So
are
we
you
are
You
gonna
watch the
get
end credits?
Yeah, are we gonna get the Castellum of Blood?
Correct.
Yay!
Yeah, I
good.
was gonna start that up earlier, but then some things happened.
Some things that that is life sometimes. Jason, when
Yep.
are you expecting to finish this new project where choose your own adventure?
Well, I'm hoping to get it finished up next month at some point. When it actually releases, I'm not sure. I don't like to sit on things for too long, but there's like production lead times once I get that done, as far as like programming the DVD, getting the DVD produced, getting it on YouTube, all those sort of things. So I don't know, optimistically, hopefully like September-ish, but we'll see.
Oh, pretty soon coming.
In time for Halloween at the latest.
Yay.
Aw.
Yeah.
Any we have a question from one of our viewers. Any particular director or writer who inspired you?
Oh yeah, John Carpenter, just all day.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Like if there was anyone that was ever like, I'm just kind of like doing this myself and giving his finger to the studios, it was definitely John Carpenter back in the day. So for sure. Whenever I reference and he was just I could go on, that's a whole other chat, just talking about how much I love John Carpenter, but I don't think we have time for that.
Oh, we always have time for that.
Well, his movies inspire me. When people ask me like what are my favorite horror movies, it's like, well, what are my favorite John Carpenter movies? With the exception of one of my favorite horror movies being Event Horizon, and that has nothing to do with John Carpenter, but fair enough.
I was gonna say the Waves of Madness gave me that Event Horizon feeling.
I love that movie, so that checks out.
Me too. My husband and I fight about it because he hates it.
Ah,
So I give
so
him
good.
crap.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I saw some inspirations too. My favorite John Carpenter is The Fog. So
I love The Fog.
Yes, I definitely saw a lot of like fog action going on
There's a lot of fog, gratuitous fog.
A lot of fog. So that was very close to that.
Yeah, The Fog and The Thing are my favorite John Carpenter horrors for sure.
Nice. Those are two good ones.
Yeah, I appreciate Halloween and other things like that, but I've never been as big on the slasher movies as more of like the terror of like people dealing with some sort of supernatural thing or like alien thing they can't understand. It's always gotten me more than dude with knife chasing girl. But I appreciate it.
Yes. My favorite is not even a John Carpenter movie, but whatever, Halloween 3. I just love
sweet.
That's
the weird one.
It is. I love the
concept.
I like
that.
Yeah. I love the concept of just having a evil organization trying to kill children. I mean, happens all the time now in real life, all those chemicals that they put and we're actively killing children.
The golden arches.
Hey,
evil institutions. Yeah.
But are rich people getting richer? Yay.
Oh yeah.
Will their children have a planet to live on? Who cares? Our quarterly reports are up.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
but
you guys are right.
Whole other conversation, but yeah, that's the true evil.
Exactly.
That's the true supervillain.
Exactly. That is the true villain of Halloween 3 is the evil corporation that wanted to make a Silver Shamrock. Shout out to Silver Shamrock. Not sponsored, by the way. So another question for you. Do you have another movie you'd like to make?
I mean, beyond the sequel to this movie that I'm making, because that's what I really want to make. I mean, there's always movies I want to make. I have lists of so many movies I'd want to make that I'll never have time in my life or like 3 other lifetimes to make. But it's always, there's this Bigfoot movie I've wanted to make since I was like 18. I might get to that someday. I always thought like it was too expensive and the effects were too crazy. But now what I've been learning on these movies, I'm like, maybe it'll be another movie in this series. I don't know. I'm playing with that. That's all I can say about that one because I don't want someone to steal the idea.
That sounds awesome. We definitely need more Sasquatch.
More cool Sasquatch too. I haven't seen
Yeah.
Sasquatch be cool yet.
No, I know. We need more cryptids. chupacabras, you know, Loch Ness monster, you
I
know.
love my cryptozoology. So yeah.
Anybody on the cryptozoology, I'm like, yeah, bring it, Mothman.
And that's
We're
the
ready.
idea for like with Waves of Madness with this franchise, you know, finger quotes. What I was trying to do with it, and you'll see by the end credits, is that what if you took like, because I always loved the Brendan Fraser mummy movies, particularly the first two. And I was like, God, what if instead of going after a mummy every time, they just went after a different monster? That would have been sweet. So that's kind of my idea for this franchise, is that every time it's like that old pulpy like adventure sort of thing, but we're just going after a different monster each time. So maybe we'll get to some of those cryptids as it goes.
Nice. I love it. And are we going to learn more about Agent
LaGrasse?
LaGrasse, his
Oh, yeah.
background? And because there's little hints. I'm one of those that when I watch a film, I write things down. I'm like, okay, why is that name there? Why is that there? I know everything's there for some kind of reason, and I love when I find out later.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some find out later in the sequel, and I know
Nice.
this because I've written the sequel, so I know what happens there, and I have a rough idea of the third one. So yeah, you definitely will, but it's not going to be. I'm not going to like pound you over the head with it in a way that like you have to watch the first one to understand the second one. But you know, it'll be there. You'll be enriched. Yeah.
Very cool Easter eggs.
Yeah, I love some Easter eggs. Everyone loves Easter eggs, right?
Right. Yes.
That's what it's all about now. I mean, that's the only reason those MCU movies exist, right? So people can like clap when an Easter egg shows up.
Gratuitous clapping.
It's really weird when you watch those movies at home, because without being in the theater, when everyone just like claps and cheers when like another character shows up, there's like 5 seconds of dead space every time that happens. You're watching it at home and there's just like this silence where it's like waiting for a standing ovation to come and go. When you're at home, it's just this weird dead space and you're like, what is this pacing in this movie? Oh, I'm supposed to be cheering. Got it.
That's funny. That's funny that you mentioned that, because you definitely don't notice it in theaters. But I had to go back and see Thunderbolts, or one of the newer Marvel movies, just to kind of catch that.
Yeah, I'm behind. I have to watch Thunderbolts as well. I'm just waiting to watch it on the couch.
Yeah, you'll hear those dead spaces there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
You always do.
I wanted to say, for a side-scrolling movie of the Waves of Madness, the surround sound was not simply side-scrolling. I heard it all around. It sounded really great.
No, really, because it is just out of left and right speakers. So that's awesome. It's good to know.
I have like a 7.1, 7.2. I have a little setup different, but it sounded pretty creepy, especially the voices and stuff. I was like,
what I love about that is it must be your system doing it, because I only mix the stereo mix, and the distributor was like, oh, what about a 5.1? And I was like, nope, it's just going to be stereo, because if it is a side-scrolling movie, it's going to be left and right, and I'm directionally using that to trigger you to where to look and things and how to drift things around, because 2 channels, 2 dimensions.
That makes sense.
Oh. Wow, that sounds very interesting. I like what you did with the sound there. Jason, how did you get started in horror?
I playing Resident Evil when I was like 10 years old, I guess. And then I was like, oh, I'd like to make one of these someday. And, it's always liked making horror movies, but I kind of never got around to doing them. Like there's my Tasmanian Ghost Apocalypse movie, How to Save Us, that I made, I guess, like 10 years ago now or more, that I really loved. And I wanted to get into that, but it didn't really take off that well. And I was like, I had to get back into making my FP movies because I needed money. So I was like, all right, I'll get back to that. And I always wanted to get back to horror. And then finally I came up with this idea, and I was like, well, it's time. Let's get back to it. And I think I'm going to stay here for a while because I'm really enjoying it.
I like that. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about Waves of Madness? We've had a lot of really good questions coming in, but anything else?
I mean, just please watch it, rent it, buy it, tell your friends. I mean, tell your friends more than anything, because, word of mouth is the only way these things, find their way. And, if you just want a bunch of like rehashes of old things, don't watch it. That's totally fine. But if you want new stuff, it definitely helps, not just me selfishly, but distributors and other people know, like, oh, they took a chance and this worked. Maybe we should try that some more. So it's like, tell people.
Definitely.
And also, I would just like to thank the both of you for finding me and talking about me and trying to get this out there, because without people like you, nobody knows these movies exist, and we're just, going to get like Scream 10. So not that there's a problem with that, but like, you people are the most important part of it. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's always lovely when we get to talk to the directors and talk about movie making magic. That's always very special to us because we'll be able to see the final product and be able to discuss it. And I love that process, and it's great. You would never be able to sit down with somebody that's made the Saw 20 or whatever because they're just too big. They're just unreachable, and they don't need people like us. They got billions in marketing and and it's people like you, Jason, that really need, boots on the ground kind of word of mouth. And I think it's great. And I'm hopeful that you'll be seeing your new stuff soon. I'm very excited for the create your own movie.
Yeah, Afar.
Oh, yeah.
Afar, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Afar.
An interactive horror film.
Oh, I can't wait. Jason, since you are here, would you ever be opposed to somebody streaming it? Kind of like, Twitch streamers, how they stream video games and they have a walkthrough. Would you ever be opposed to somebody being able to stream it on Twitch?
No, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I think that'd be great.
Oh, see, guys, you guys got to buy the movie so you guys can stream it on Twitch and have your audience pick. And I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah,
in a live stream.
In this day and age, I'm just like, if people are watching it and talking about it, and more importantly, if people are just enjoying it and being exposed to the cool, weird stuff that's out there, like I think a lot of it is. We kind of think that nobody's trying to make anything new or do anything new, but that's not really the case. It's that there's a lot of new and cool things being made all the time by independent filmmakers. And even I stress independent's almost the wrong word because that's almost become a cliche because now an independent horror movie could be like a $40 million A24 movie. I mean, more like DIY, like I'm talking micro budget, those ones. Mm-hmm. There's really cool stuff happening, but just nobody knows about it because nobody's putting, and again, people like you are helping people find out about it. But like, anyone just share it. If you see something cool, share it. Even if you don't think people are going to care, just do it because we're all thirsty for cool stuff. Let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a big world out there, right? We are talking to someone on the other side of the damn planet. You know what I mean? It's just
and promoting.
And we're all more alike than we think, so definitely that's brilliant. And we love watching the independent film festivals. We can't always afford to go. I'm super excited. I'm going to the one in Canada, Toronto, After Dark. So I'm really excited about that in October. And Luna and I have been invited to host the Spooky Empire horror film festival. So we'll be more truly independent filmmakers then. And we'll be pushing the word out as much as we can. And we try to also, introduce independent filmmakers to other independent filmmakers, so that they can work together and get, accomplish the mission as Agent LaGrasse is so intent to.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, Jason, we look forward to maybe having you come back on the show once your other movie is coming out.
I'd love to.
And I'd love to sit down and kind of digest that as soon as it comes out because we loved this conversation and we can't wait for everything you're doing.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd love to come back. Just, I'm an email away.
Exactly. We'll be reaching out. So next week, we don't have anything in the works, which kinds of end up working out. I have some work commitments that I have to get due. And in collaboration with the Humane Society, my work is doing a function, and I'll probably be there until maybe 11 p.m. at night, so 10 or 11. So next week is not going to work out, but on the 6th, August 6th, we will be doing the raffle, and we will be meeting with Lewis Martin in regards to the Itching Spider. That's going to be Wednesday, August 6th at 10. So you have about 2 weeks left to go ahead and like and subscribe to our Delight and Fright YouTube channel. And then we'll be able to enter you into the drawing. And what can they win, Kat?
They win at least one piece of horror clothing, a horror figure, other horror memorabilia, as well as a autographed item from an actor from a horror franchise that we all know, but I'm not giving it away because this is the What's in the Box challenge that may or may not have Gwyneth Paltrow's head in it. You must find out.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
Yes. We are all about the dark humor. And we cannot forget to show Jason our very special way that we say goodbye here at Delight and Fright, because we are huge fans of the Elder God. So you want to show him, Luna?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a Cthulhu goodbye.
Yes, the tentacles. It's all about
that's amazing.
tentacles. Yes.
We do.
At least it's not like the way they say goodbye in Germany in Indiana Jones. When they, the joke, he smacks him in the face. And,
yeah.
This is how we say goodbye in Austria. And there's a anyway. Never mind.
No, none of that here. Just Cthulhu goodbye.
Yes.
I love it. That's
tentacles.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, Jason. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you
Thank you so much
guys
for having me.
again August 6th. Bye.
Have a great night, everyone.